Good morning. I have a question this morning on the topic of how do you convince somebody else to stop drinking alcohol. And this was a really sweet message on YouTube, a sort of a desperate message really. This person says, I can't understand why my dad drinks 3 or even 5 bottles of alcohol and never stops. He's been depressed, but he never lets go of the thoughts. Now I just want him to lie in hospital and finally stop drinking. I'm full of anger when he starts drinking. I want to throw that bottle out of the window and never see it again. I understand from that position, from looking outside in, looking at how somebody else is acting, and you just want to see them change. I saw my own dad eating himself into an early grave. I mean, he was a small man, and he used to pack in the food. He was the same weight as I am, you know. I mean, he wasn't massively overweight, but he just ate the wrong types of food, and he was drinking as well. Good walk today. It's a bit cold out this morning, but it's just one of those days. I think it's great to get out. The sun's coming up now, so it's going to be nice and bright in a while. I'm sure my son, one of the things my son said to me when I stopped drinking was, you know, I'm glad you've stopped. I was worried about you. I was worried about you dying early. And I think I said in yesterday's video that when I was drinking, I got to the stage where I was doing the same things over and over and over again, and I didn't really care about my longevity. You know, I thought to myself, well, if I get to 60, I'll be doing good. So that's 6 or 7 years away from where I am now. If I have a heart attack, a big one, then it will just be the lights turned out. But unfortunately, that's not the way it works. You know, there's 3.5 million people die every year from drinking alcohol. You know, people who just won't stop. They say to themselves they can't stop, but the truth of the matter is that they won't stop. You know, they just keep going on and on and on. That's what I was doing, and unfortunately there's no easy way from the perspective of somebody outside of telling them how you can, you know, trying to get them to stop. You can't force anyone to do anything. The only person that can stop drinking is the person themselves. You know, that's why I think dry out clinics in general don't work, because they take somebody out of their natural environment. You can't get your hands on any alcohol, so by the time you get back out again and into the real world, it's all for nothing, because you've taken somebody outside of the natural environment that they're drinking, taken all the temptations out of their way, and generally put them into a position where they're being weighted on hand and foot, and then they come back out the other end the same person inside. And generally in these dry out clinics, all they're doing is a 12-step program as well to get people away from alcohol, and you know my thoughts on that. So I think the best that you can do yourself is to lead by example. You can put the idea into somebody else's head. You know, you can say to them, look, this is what you should do. This is what I think. You know, you can voice your concerns, and at least, the very least, that sets up maybe one small chain of thinking within their minds that sort of says to them, you know, it's not good enough. You know, I'm worried about you. It gets one thought leading to another, and maybe, you know, they decide to start doing something about it. But in general, you have to be the solid rock that they can focus on. You have to be the person that is leading by example, and that means stopping yourself. You know, this is the drug that people use. This is something that is just the same as heroin or cocaine. It does just as much damage to the body and to the person's life. And imagine if you were in a situation, or you were trying to convince a heroin user to stop taking heroin. If you were a heroin user as well, it wouldn't matter how much heroin you were taking. If this person is taking 4 doses a day and you're only taking 1 every second day, or 1 every third day, or 1 a week, would that matter? You're coming from the perspective of somebody who was also taking the drug, so it's like the pot calling the kettle black. Imagine the same situation in smoking, for instance. If you're saying to somebody, smoking is dangerous for you, it's damaging to your health, but you're also smoking, and you can use the excuse, well, I only smoke 10 a week, but you smoke 20 a day. That person's going to look at you and say, well, you can't tell me this, because you're a smoker. You're a lot younger than me, and you'll eventually get to where I am. Do you get what I'm saying? So you have to lead by example. A lot of people don't want to do this. They see their own drinking as different to somebody else's because of the quantity that's taken. But the drug that's being taken is the same, and the long-term effects of that drug are the same. So just think about it from that perspective. I think that if Gandhi said that if you want to see changes in the world, you have to be the example of that change yourself. You can't talk the talk if you're not going to walk the walk. So if you're in a position where you need some help with this, I've got a book that you can download. Go over to the website. It's absolutely free. Just leave your name and email address, and it's a basic starter manual, if you like. It's only short. It's not going to take you long to read it, an hour at most, and you get through it. I'll also send you out a few videos over the first week or so, basically reinforcing the same ideas. And it's just, I think sometimes all you need is to have those basic ideas set in place at the beginning in order to move forward, in order to take it to the next step. There's often a very fine line between taking that step across the line and never taking it, and going for the rest of your life and doing the same thing as you do. Where I'm living here, we've got so many retirees that come here all the time, and all they do is they drink and they smoke and they eat themselves into an early grave. And you see the effect of that. You go down to any of the hospitals around here and there's Spanish people there, but I'd say 35% of them are expats from England, Ireland, Germany, Finland, Sweden, Holland, many different countries, and it's that same thing, so and that is completely out of proportion to the size of the population here. So it shows you that the people that are here are doing something wrong. Anyway, I'll leave it there for today. Take care of yourself. I'm Kevin O'Hara for alcoholmastery.com. Onwards and upwards. Take care. Bye now.